So this is our warm-up for Thursday, August 20th. We are going to solve this using cubes, which is on the wall, but for those of you that are not in the classroom, C is for circle key numbers, U is for underline the question, B is for boxing the key words, E is to evaluate and figure out what steps you are to do next, and S is to solve and check. So you want to check your answer and make sure that that answer makes sense. First, we're going to read the problem. Mr. Hussein had $300 to spend for camping equipment. He wanted to buy a tent for $176, 2 sleeping bags for $42 each, and a camp stove for $69. So students, what are the key numbers that we're going to circle? Yes, sir.
176.
Okay. The next one, someone else? Yes, ma'am.
300.
$300. What else? Yes, sir.
42.
$42. Any more?
69.
$69. So those are our key numbers, right? Have we received the question yet? No, so we're not going to underline yet. What are the key words we're going to box? Each. Okay? What does each normally tell us to do? Go ahead. Multiply. Very good. Any other key words here? Yes, ma'am. Spend. That means that what's going to happen to the money that he has? It's going to decrease or go away, correct? Any other key words? Yes? 2. Very good. So 2 is a key word and a number, correct? Because we need to know how many sleeping bags because we see each here. All right? Anything else? Buy. Again, if he's spending, it's because he is buying something. Okay? So let's figure out what they want us to do with all of this information they've provided. A says, estimate the amount Mr. Hussein will spend if he buys all of the camping items. So what would we underline there? What would we underline? Because that is the question, even though it's given to us in a statement. Yes, ma'am.
Show your estimation
Strategy. Okay, we can underline that because that is something important that we are going to have to do. But what else needs to be underlined? The process itself is important, isn't it?
amount.
Okay, that would be a box term if we were doing it that way. But this is the question, so what are we going to underline? Yes, sir.
Estimate the amount.
Estimate the amount. We don't care about his name, right? What about the amount?
To determine the amount of money to purchase all of the items.
Very good. So we're trying to figure out if he has enough money to purchase all the items, which is part of B, but we're still on A. So when we estimate the amount, the quickest way to do it is what we talked about yesterday, which is front-end estimation. These are bigger numbers, so we want to basically either round to the nearest 100 or round to the nearest 10 based on the digit, okay? So what would we do for 176? Nearest 100 or nearest 10?
Nearest 10.
Nearest 10, right?
180.
$180. So 176 is going to round to $180. And we're doing that because of this digit. What happens when this digit is greater than 5?
It goes to a 10.
Right, it goes up to a tens digit. What are we going to do for $42?
We are going to leave it at 40.
Leave it at 40. So $42, this number is less than 5, so we're going to let it rest at 40. How about $69? Yes, ma'am.
It will go to 70
It will go to 70, and why?
because the 9 is higher than 4.
Because the 9 is greater than 5.
Yeah.
Okay? So if it was 4 or less, it would go down. If it was 5 or more, it will go up. So now that we have rounded these numbers, what are we going to do with them? Not yet. Because that's not what he's buying, right? That's how much he has to spend. So that's why we didn't touch the $300. Does everybody understand that? Good question. So what do we do with 180, 40, and 70? Add them. Very good. So it's a lot easier if we look for the easy numbers. All 3 of these digits are easy, right?
Yeah.
They equal 0. But then I want to look at something easy. So I've got 8 and 4. That's pretty easy. What's 8 and 4?
That is 12.
12, right? And now that I've got 12, I'm going to add 7 to it.
That's 99.
Excellent. So that part is our mental math. We're going to carry our 1, and we've got 2 easy numbers right here. 1 and 1 gives me 2. So we've just shown our estimation strategy. We took it from the original number and rounded it, and now we have added those numbers to get $290, which is the amount he will spend if he buys the camping items. Isn't it exact amount? No, but it's asking for an estimate, correct? So when we see the word estimate, we are going to round. Now B says, use estimation to determine if Mr. Hossein has enough money to purchase all of the items. That's question 1. Then it says, if so, about how much money will he have left? So that's question 2. And if not, how much more money will he need? So that's question 3. And then it tells us we have to explain. All right? So in this question, what part are we going to underline? In question 1, use estimation to determine if Mr. Hussein has enough money to purchase all of the items. What part of that would we underline? Yes.
Use estimation to determine if he has enough money to purchase all the items.
Okay? Key word there is all, right? Now we kind of messed up on 1. What happened with 1? We actually messed up. We circled a key number and then we didn't use it. 2. So what were we supposed to do to those sleeping bags?
Multiply them.
Multiply them. So since we didn't, we need to say, okay, well, I have 2 of these, so I need to add another $40.
So that makes $330.
Very good. $330. So we caught our mistake before we got too far into damage, right? So $330 is actually what he needs. And that was my fault for not rereading the question with y'all. So let's look at 1 first. In using estimation to determine if Mr. Hussein has enough money to purchase all of the items, does he if he has $300?
No.
No. So he has $300, and we estimate that he needs $330. So no, he does not have enough. Correct? The second question says, if so, about how much money will he have left? About tells us what?
Estimation.
We're going to estimate. But number 1 said that he didn't have enough. So are we going to do anything with number 2?
No.
No. So we go on to number 3. It says, if not, keyword. So we're going to do what to the keyword?
Box it.
We're going to box it. And we're going to underline about how much more, which is a key word as well, will he need. When we see the words about how much more, what operation is it telling us to do? Round and how much more? Nope. Subtract. So about tells us to estimate. How much more tells us to subtract, right? What are we going to subtract? Very good. We're going to take 300 away from 330. Make sure you are always lining up your digits in order to do your math efficiently. We have graph paper in the bottom drawer. We also have lined paper. You can always turn the lined paper sideways to keep those columns in line, or use graph paper to use the boxes to keep your columns in line. So when I subtract 300 from 330, I go with my 1s, there are nothing to subtract. With my 10s, I have 3, and I'm taking 0 away, so 3. So he needs $30 more to purchase all items, correct? Any questions on those answers?